Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Ham Radio. My name is Chad Linden, and this is my series called Moros To Modem. Today I'm going to start with a little quiz. What well-known ham radio organization did Hiram Piers Maxman and Clarence D. Tuska start 111 years ago? So while you ponder that or Google search it, I'm going to move on with today's scientist. I have two today that I'm going to bring up for discussion. The first scientist and physicist was a professor at the University of Berlin in the late 1800s, Hermann von Helmholtz. And the second scientist is one of Helmholtz's students, and his name was Heinrich. Heinrich was working on obtaining his PhD. When Helmholtz saw the potential in Heinrich's, he proceeded to guide him through his doctoral research, fostered Heinrich's interest in electromagnetism, and inspired his work on the nature of electricity and electromagnetic waves. So in 1879, Helmholtz encouraged Heinrich to enter a research contest. This was an annual event at the Berlin College, and this year the question was related almost directly to the field of electricity and electromagnetic waves. Helmholtz thought that Heinrich was up to the task. Heinrich was smart. He had a potential gift for precision, and he was fluent in at least 5 languages. However, he did not participate in the contests that year because he thought that he wasn't smart enough. Although the questions that the contest presented did get him thinking and, well, I guess you could say it's lit a spark in his mind. He thought about this for another 7 years before conducting any experiments. Now, you have to understand that this was a time when electromagnetism was still a theoretical idea, still waiting to be validated. While several scientists proposed the existence of electromagnetic waves, no one had successfully demonstrated them in a laboratory setting. Until now. Using simple materials, 2 metal spheres and a Leyden jar, or early capacitor, Heinrich created the first apparatus capable of generating and detecting electromagnetic waves. When he observed the spark jump between his metal spheres at specific distances, he knew he was witnessing something extraordinary: the existence of electromagnetic waves. He had just proved Michael Faraday and James Maxwell's theory of electromagnetism. Although, despite what he had just accomplished, Heinrich believed that his experiment had no practical use. When the scientific community asked him about the applications he had discovered, he had said he saw his work as merely proving Faraday and Maxwell's theory to be correct. Now, the overall response to Heinrich's discovery was a mix of excitement in the scientific field and a carbon copy of Heinrich's own skepticism about its practical use. Now, his work may have been experimental, but it ended up being one of the most important ingredients in the technological evolution. The inspired grad student may not have seen the use for his discoveries. However, we sure do today. And 36 years after Heinrich passed away, the IEC, International Electronical Commission, honored Heinrich by the unit of frequency being changed from cycles per second to hertz. This was adopted by the General Conference of Weights and Measurements in 1960. I am just glad that Heinrich Hertz did not let his skeptic thoughts stop him from experimenting on the ideas. And perhaps Professor Helmholtz, his instructor, we should acknowledge for encouraging him along the way. And there you go. Now, next time, we will meet a person who had a personal tragedy and it totally took his life in a different direction, and he used his pain to take the evolution of radio technology another step further. Now on to the answers to my quiz. So the question was, what did Hiram Pierce Maxman and Clarence D. Tusky establish 111 years ago? Well, in 1914, the American Radio Relay League was started by Maxman and Tusky. Maxman was an inventor, and he conceived of the idea of an organization where radio systems are presented, or he presented an idea where it was organized, a radio relay system. He presented this idea to the Radio Club of Hartford, where Tusky was a secretary. Together, they developed the organization and sent out the applications to other amateur radio stations. Currently, the ARRL headquarters, located in Newton, Connecticut, and as of 2024, the ARRL has 136,000 members, myself included. And finally today, I just want to give a little side note to my presentations. I have done some research, and I have a list of different scientists that I feel are a smooth stepping stone to the evolution of radio technology. However, I am aware that there are a lot of people out there that have made contributions, notable contributions to our society today. So, my question for you is, if you have any suggestions about scientists, physicists, or any other untrained person along the way that has made a step that you feel like is an impactful footprint on radio technology, send me an email. The modocconnection@gmail.com is my email. And I'm not going to reveal the list here of the people that I have in mind, but it would be interesting to know that you, my viewers, if you have some of the same suggestions that I already have in mind. I already have one suggestion that I'm going to do later on, and I will make sure to let you know when the people that I'm presenting are my ideas or my viewers' ideas. So so like, share, reposts, do all that. Please help me to get my page going in all those directions. Again, the modocconnection@gmail.com is where you can put your comments and questions. Until then, this is Chad Linden, AB6CL extra class operator.